Hello everybody, my name is Jadbo with another MLB 925 video. In today's video, I have to laugh at the beginning of this. I'll tell you guys in a minute why. I couldn't get through that the first couple of times without laughing, but we did our best. That's the best it's going to be, but there's going to be a sig pack today. There's going to be a couple packs, a couple combos. We got to actually have like 7 PSETs to go through today, so we actually have a good number of things to go through today, but I'll explain to you guys in a second once we get through today's daily packs. So, it's really funny because in so one of my friends' Discord servers, they know I make videos, so they're probably watching this right now. But they made a soundbite of me doing the intros, and they overlaid like 5 or 7 of them, and they all line up basically like perfectly without any editing. They just line up perfectly, like so that way you just hear me 5 different times saying hello everybody, welcome to. No, my name is Jeff. Welcome to another MLB 9 Innings 25 video. And it's just like, I'm like, man, I didn't realize it was that perfect. Like, I had no idea that it was just the same cadence every time. So I can't help but laugh because I just, as soon as I said that, I thought about that now what is it? The Discord's, the soundboard, where the soundboard sounds like, I couldn't believe it. I didn't expect it. I thought for some reason one of my videos was playing in the background, but no, I couldn't believe it. So let's get into today's video. Another absolutely horrid stretch of Yankee baseball. Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Yankee Fan Therapy Session. So, unfortunately, the Yankees are not playing too hot right now. I saw Clayton Kershaw got his 3,000th strikeout, which was really cool. A lot of people are saying that he may be the last one at 3,000 strikeouts. I think Chris Sale definitely has an outside opportunity, but the problem is that he's oft injured. So, just the fact that he may not be healthy is always a concern, because at any moment he could just like forget how to be. Like, he's had a really good stretch here where he's actually been healthy for a while, which is just like uncharacteristic. Like, I don't know what happened, but it seemed like for years when he was on the Red Sox, he just could not stay healthy. Like, he just could not finish the season. Ever since I think he won since that 2017 season when they got him, and I think that that was the year he won. Didn't he win Cy Young in 2017? Hold on a second. Oh no, it was Kluber. It was Kluber, and then it was Sale, and then it was Severino, because Severino finished 3rd in Cy Young voting that year. And I thought Severino had a tremendous season, but he finished behind Sale for 3rd. But yeah, no, I remember that season, and Sale had a tremendous season. I thought he was also very much very much deserving of winning Cy Young that year as well. But ever since then, it just seems like he just constantly got hurt. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that he throws really weird with the inverted W, with his windup. I don't know, but he's just like, his body does not survive the season at all. So it's always been a knock on him, and I'm always concerned that every single time that anybody talks about his longevity, I'm always thinking to myself that at any moment he could just break down. He's kind of like Nathan Eovaldi, where at any moment he could just break down again. Like, you never know, because I feel like we are uniquely qualified because we watched Nathan Eovaldi have 2 Tommy John surgeries basically, and we're just like, man, that's really kind of tough. I wish that didn't happen, because I'd like to see him pitch. But anyway, so Kershaw, a lot of people are saying that he might be the last pitcher that we ever see to get to 3,000 strikeouts, mainly because people just don't pitch that long anymore. Like, mainly people just don't stay, like, they don't stay healthy, they don't pitch for that many innings anymore, they're not in the game, they're in for 5-6 innings and they're done. Like, they're not going the distance, so. But I disagree, and I don't know if that's the case necessarily, because it's not like I think that we're kind of like out of those bounds. Yes, we will no longer be seeing people pitch like 300 innings a season at this point, in my opinion, like the good old days with Tungsten Armo Doyle. But I think that strikeouts are up all over the place, so I think that there's a good chance of, like, you see that happen all the time. You see people like just strike out at an incredible rate. I think Spencer Jones right now is in the minors, and he's striking out like at a 45% rate, and he's like one of the top prospects for the Yankees. So, like, in my opinion, alright, sorry guys, I'm back now. Unfortunately, I got interrupted down here in the middle of my video. As always happens on this channel, is whenever I'm recording a video, it seems that everybody always has a proclivity to want to come down to talk to me. But anyway, so what I was saying is that it seems to me that people are trying to say that this is the end of the fact that there's not going to be another 3,000 strikeout pitcher, and I can kind of see that because we're in the era of Tommy John and the fact that people don't go as many innings as they used to go anymore. But in my opinion, I feel like strikeouts are up right now. Like, the highest strikeout rate we've ever seen in the major leagues. So in my opinion, if you got a young pitcher that just came up when he was very young, like, let's say, like, in his, like, let's say he skips college, which probably wouldn't happen as a pitcher nowadays, A lot of them do come from the NCAA systems, like Vanderbilt, and so you come up like in your mid 20s, and you can pitch like maybe 12 or 13 years. I feel like you can get it done. It just depends if you stay healthy, because it seems like everyone is basically at this point looking square towards the Tommy John surgery at this point, as opposed to in the past when you just kind of pitched to injuries and you didn't really have as many UCL tears as you do nowadays. Now it's just basically guaranteed. Like, it's a rite of passage at this point. Everybody has to go get their bionic arm, essentially. But anyway, it's like people are saying that it's the last. I disagree. I think that there's absolutely a case that you could make where there could be somebody that comes up and pitches a long time and basically could do the same thing. I'm not going to say never in this sport, because there's been a lot of times where I've said never. I've said never in a lot of sports. Like, I never thought Wayne Gretzky's goal record was ever going to be broken. I thought that was impossible. You know, in my opinion, I thought that Ichiro's hit record was impossible, but you never know at this point. It's like anything could really happen. There's only a couple really unbreakable records. I mean, we never even really know. Like, Joe DiMaggio's hit streak sounds unbreakable, but for all we know, it could just happen at some random point, and we never even, like, really... Like, it just happens. There's so many Major League players, and there's so many games a year that just... Random things can happen. You never really know. It's a very difficult streak to break, but... Impossible? I'm not going to say impossible. So, no, I think that even if Chris Sale doesn't do it, I still think that there will be some other pitcher. I think people are saying that Chris Sale is going to be the next lefty to get on the list, but I definitely think that there's going to be another pitcher with 3,000 strikeouts. I don't think that that's impossible, in my opinion. I think that's actually rather attainable, especially considering that nowadays, if you're like a really hyped prospect, you know, you're coming up really early. If you're like a complete pitcher, kind of like, I mean, you never know. Maybe Paul Scanes can do it. Like, that'd be a good. You know, he came up young. He seems to strike out a million people, get no run support. But we'll see if he stays healthy, and we'll see how long his career lasts. Because you never know. You know, you're not really throwing 100 miles an hour for your entire career nowadays. I also saw some video that came out. It was like from the Yankees-Mets game, where I guess some fan was getting involved with Anthony Volpe's dad or something. In the stands, and this was like trending on the subreddit, like the baseball subreddit this morning, that they were in a confrontation with him, I guess, because the guy in the stands said something really bad about his son, so he decided to confront him. It's really weird because I hear like things about him that he's a nice guy, so in order to set him off, it must have either been something absolutely horrid or something. But in my opinion, I feel like, you know, he's a pretty nice guy, and that, I don't know, it's very weird. It's a weird situation. It's a weird situation because on one hand, I'm basically of the mindset where I think that words should never lead to a fight, or it should never lead to there being a physical altercation, because words are just words. But if somebody says something heinous enough, then I can kind of see it. But I wasn't there, so I don't know what was said. We don't really know what was said, so it's kind of tough to really kind of make a judgment on it. So it was just an interesting, like, microcosm of, you know, the bad vibes right now are not very good. The vibes are not very good right about now. So unfortunately, we're trying to do our best. You know, we salvaged the game at Citi Field, but it wasn't pretty. So hopefully the Yankees can go into the All-Star break with a little bit of a better record. But they lost. They got swept by Toronto. That was a whole other thing too. I remember I saw Michael Kay getting upset about the Toronto people in the booth holding a broom. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, that's the stuff about baseball that's fun, in my opinion. Like, I like that stuff. That stuff is great in baseball, because you have these people that are just like constantly posting bulletin board material out here. It's just a lot of good fun, in my opinion. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Look, we got swept. Maybe if you didn't want us to get made fun of, maybe you should have played better. Maybe you should have won a game or two instead of basically having a late innings collapse or giving up 7 runs in the first inning. Maybe you should have played a little bit better, in my opinion. So, you know, you can get mad and you can be upset at them, but at the end of the day, I think that really is on you to play better. So, you know, you can only be mad at yourself, and I think that's what's going on. They're just like mad at themselves because they're just not playing well, and I understand that. We've all been there. You know, you don't play well, and you don't do things well, and you just get mad at things, and I get that. You know, we're all human, so it's not surprising. Is there anything else I can get rid of here? Let me do one more combo. Get rid of one. Get rid of the legend Chinman Wong. Bam, diamond. Ooh, DL Hall. That's the Baltimore pitcher, DL Hall. Isn't the guy that they thought they traded DL Hall to the Brewers in the Corbin Burns trade? Yes, it was. I don't know why I remember that. I don't know why. In God's name, I remember that. That's one of the weirdest things that I could possibly remember, and I'm just here. I'm just like, oh yeah, I remember that guy. What? Weird, man. Some of the random things I come up with is incredible, and then like I don't know the easy things, but I know the difficult things. It's just I don't get it, man. The neurons in my brain work in mysterious ways. Scientists do not understand at all what's going on here. Oh man. There was actually something I saw. One of my friends sent it to me, but the MLB website messed up because they had Javi Baez as a all-star starter for the AL team, and it actually said Javier Baez, New York Yankees on it. And I'm like, oh wow, I didn't realize the Yankees traded for Javi Baez. That's weird. I thought we already had shortstop, but oh well. Oh, speaking of Yankee shortstops, there was also the video of Volpe trying to hit. Well, he didn't try to hit, but he managed to hit Aaron Judge in the head with a baseball during warm-ups. And I saw like a funny comment afterwards. It's the constant debate is that, you know, WAR is not a perfect stat, and then their comment was WAR is not a perfect stat because it doesn't factor in the times when you accidentally try to injure your team's best player. And I mean, yeah, he's kind of right. I think that hitting Aaron Judge in the face with a baseball is worth at least -1 WAR, in my opinion. I feel like that should factor in. Try not to hit Aaron Judge with a baseball. Like, do that. Do it. Like, it was really concerning because in between innings, like, nobody saw it. And then all of a sudden, he comes out of the dugout with a bandage on his head. And we're all like, what's going on? Why is he now bleeding from the head? You know, what's going on here? And eventually we saw the video of in between innings where he got hit by an errant throw from the shortstop that right now every Yankee fan wants to put in the pillory because he is really struggling and everyone wants to set him down. And I'm just like, oh man, dude. Vibes are bad right now. Vibes are real bad right now. And then after the game, we win the game, which was like our first win in like 7 games. We were on a 6-game losing streak coming into that game. And then after that, you see Cody Bellinger make one of like the best double plays I've seen of the season at this point, where he basically makes a shoestring catch off Soto and then throws out Lindor at first. And then, you know, great play, tremendous play, huge, great throw. I mean, just it was a rope to first base, and it was perfect. But after the game, they're like, oh, this is it. The season's turned around now. And I'm like, man, can we win, like, a game after today first before we start claiming that the season's turned around now? Like, can we wait? I know that as a Yankee fan, I am one of the... Like, it's weird because I feel like I'm one of the more level-headed ones, where I feel like that kind of... There's a lot of hot takes that come out of Yankee fans, and I mean really hot takes out of Yankee fans. And I'm not immune to this. I make my own hot takes, and you guys have to sit through it as well. And I know I make a mockery out of it, but I mean, just there are some really stupid fans out there. And, you know, John Boy's after the game like, yeah, this season's turned around already, man. And I'm like, can we win 2 games in a row? Can we win a second game? You know, if you've ever seen Major League, which is one of my favorite baseball movies of all time, there's that scene where he goes, we won a game today. If we win tomorrow, that's 2 games in a row. It's called a winning streak. It has happened before. Like, can we get a winning streak going before we say the season's turned around, please? Like, we won 1 game. And we barely won that game, too. I mean, I don't know how many people really cared because it was the New York vehicle. So, I mean, who was really watching outside of New York? Because it was probably nobody. Everyone was probably just like, please finish the series so you guys can just shut up already because we don't care. I continue to pull 0 Yankees out of these packs, by the way. I don't think I've ever pulled a single Yankee out of these packs, ever. Cool cards, but I've never pulled a Yankee out of it. Okay, I must say, Matt, it would be a good time now to pull a Yankee out of this pack. It's a vintage. That'd be cool. Ooh, Edgar. That's one of the new ones. That's the new one. That's the legend. That's the SIG for the legend that I just benched. That's interesting. I mean, it's of no use to me due to the fact that I don't have a Seattle Mariners deck. But if you have a Seattle Mariners deck, that's a pretty legit card in my opinion. Huge. That's cool. It's one of the brand new ones. Let's go combine these players real quickly, and then we will get on to the part of the video that everyone really genuinely cares about, which is me getting mad not pulling legend skills. That's what we come here to see, baby. We're here to see me get upset. And then, oh yeah, on top of that, and also in continuing Yankee news, because all I have is Yankee news this week, because the hits keep coming. Apparently, we lost Clark Schmidt to Tommy John surgery, which is tremendously disappointing, because he was finally starting to really come into his own. He had a rough couple of starts the last couple of times, but it really kind of felt like he was starting to genuinely figure it out and really become a solid contributor to our starting staff. And he's always had injury issues along the way, so this is not surprising, but it's a shame when you see somebody, one of your young pitchers, finally start to put the pieces together and then you lose them. Not only is it that a problem, and that's sad to see it happen because I want to see people succeed, but it's also sad due to the fact that we do genuinely kind of need him right now. Unfortunately, now we went from kind of having like a staff that had a 6-man rotation kind of to having a staff with a 3-man rotation all of a sudden, because I'm not really sure about Marcus Stroman at this point, and we just suddenly in the span of 2 weeks lost basically like 3 pitchers. Was it really 3 pitchers? We lost, we had a 6-man rotation, and then, Will Warren is just kind of lost right now. And then you factor in the fact that we lost, what's his face? The lefty we got from Tampa. The lefty, Yarborough. We lost Yarborough for a while. And then on top of that, we also just lost Schmidt. So now we're down to what? I can't believe we're down to Marcus Stroman as the 4th starter again, man. We were gone. We didn't need him anymore. We were done. We didn't need him anymore. Oh, it's so frustrating. We didn't need him anymore. I was kind of happy just to not see him pitch anymore. He pitched a good couple of games, but I just don't have that much confidence in him. I really genuinely do not have confidence in him. Ooh, Seiya Suzuki, POTM. Seiya Suzuki, I'm pretty sure, did not make the All-Star team. Very weird. Very weird. I kind of expected him... I believe he leads the NL in RBIs at this point. Maybe I'm misquoting at that point, but I definitely know he's up there in RBIs. Very weird that he did not get the votes to get into the All-Star game. He is a person that I feel like if anybody drops out of the All-Star game, I feel like he should absolutely be an alternative that gets voted in to kind of fill a spot in, because it just kind of seems silly just not to have him in there. I could be wrong. You guys can definitely tell me if I'm wrong, because I heard someone say that, and I don't know if they're being accurate. And I know I usually look up things like in the middle of these videos, but I'm leaning back in my chair right now, and I'm very comfortable, so I don't really want to move right now. And all of a sudden I have all these All-Star cards and I can't get rid of all of them, man. What am I going to do with all these All-Star cards? Hey, look, Ryan Yarborough. Look at that. We just talked about him. My phone is listening to me. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? I love it when a conspiracy theory comes to fruition right in front of our eyes. No PSUTs from that one. Okay, let's go open up the PSUTs. But I think that's all of the Yankee complaints I have for this week. We'll see how they do. They're going to play Seattle at home. Thankfully, we didn't have to go across the country again, because I would really be furious. Oh, Fireball at level 1. Bleh. Gross. Gross. At least it's a legend skill. At least it's a legend skill. 2. Slow starter 2. 2-1-2. Not good. Not great, Cotton. Oh my goodness. All the legend skills. Workhorse. Is Workhorse the good one? Basic stamina stat. I think that Workhorse is supposedly pretty good, but unfortunately it's just the skill levels that are really the problem. Uno mas. We put a lot of legend skills today. Unfortunately, not anything. Oh, Crossfire. That's one of the new diamonds. Okay, now we have one more. That's one of the new ones I've been looking for, but I have not been able to find it yet. 333? No, 332. I was almost perfect. I would have punched a hole in my wall. Okay, one more PSET. That's a good number of legend skills for today's video, though. I will say that we definitely got lucky with the legend skills. We just have to get lucky in terms of the skill levels now. That's really the kind of the main sticking point. Let's go run our trainers, and then I'm going to go put this video together, and then we will be done for the week. Actually got today's video out on time. Who would have thought? Hitting expert, not interested. Ultimate trainer recruit ticket. Please give me a diamond. No. Why would it be a diamond? Location stamina. No, that's getting recycled. But anyway, that is going to be it for me in today's video today, you guys. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with me. I know it's been a little later in the day than I would have wished, but we got it done at least, so I apologize, but we got it there in the end. So hopefully you guys, let's see, All-Star, I think we'll have one more video before the All-Star game comes. We'll see, but hopefully you guys enjoy the All-Star game. If not, but until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Good luck with your packs, your pulls, your combos, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.